Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Love Amanda. My next guest is a South Carolina Gamecocks track and field athlete, entrepreneur, and known to send some hearts into a spiral. Well, let's welcome Clay Gravesande to the podcast.
Hey, appreciate you having me.
Yeah, you were a big star here at USC. You're back in your hometown.
Yeah, I was all right over here. I had a good, definitely a good college career. It's always good to drive by. I was like telling you guys earlier, just kind of going by Broad River and just having some of that nostalgic feeling. It was good.
Yeah, so when you were at school there now, as a star athlete, were you worried about the girls or were you just focused on school and track?
I mean, girls kind of come without, I think, like the athletics, but I was mostly focused on, at the time, I had the number 5 time in Gamecock history. So I was like kind of positioning myself like, do I have an opportunity to go pro, or am I going to transition to the regular workforce? And I never had a job, up until I graduated. So I think I was kind of more so processing, going through real life stuff, like what is my next step, where am I going to lead towards, because I think sometimes as an athlete, a tough transition is, where you have success and then now you have to go to a workforce where you really haven't done any of that before. So it's like, this is brand new to me. So I was kind of going through that in the transition.
I could definitely understand that because you're known as being this star athlete. Everyone knows you, and then you have to go into a different situation. So
Yep. See, I couldn't go back home. I was like, nah, I gotta figure something out. I gotta make some money out here.
But the girls obviously came with it. I'm sure they were probably showing up to your meets and stuff.
I mean, so when I was at South Carolina, they didn't enhance the track like they did now. Like the indoor facility and the outdoor facility is so nice. So I was there before they did that. So we did a lot of away meets. But yeah, I had like my little SEC boo. I go to LSU. I might have a little ACC boo there, but here and there. But I had fun in college for sure.
So yeah, I just wanted to get into a little bit growing up. Now, I know you mentioned on the show Love Is Blind that you had a close relationship with your mom, and you also saw mistakes growing up that you didn't want to repeat. Is that right?
Yeah, for sure.
So tell me about your relationship with your mom and how that's kept you accountable in dating.
My relationship with my mom is really good. I just feel like in my life, she's just been somebody that has constantly showed support and has, had my back. And, as we get older, I think loyalty is something that we probably honor, because, it's hard to make friendships the older you get. So to me, it's just like, knowing that you got someone that's your rock, that has your support and, all aspects of your life. I'm somebody, I think I'm a rather deep person, and I like, I like longevity relationships. And I just, like I said, my mom has just been somebody that has always had my back, always gave me the advice that, would propel me, not something selfish. So, she's somebody that I always go to, whether it's relationships, business decisions. And I'll be honest, I don't listen to her all the time, but like, it's just, that's relationships though. Like, you bounce ideas off each other. So yeah, my mom is the one that holds me in check.
I can see that. And listen, you're probably thinking, all right, what's my mom going to say about this, right?
Well, sometimes, I'm 32 now, so I think about mom the first time I'm making a decision. I think it's like, hey, I'm getting ready to make this. What do you think? I'm kind of bouncing this idea off of you. But typically I probably should consult with a little bit more people, but usually I'm making the decision myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what made you go on Love Is Blind? What was going on in your life during that time where you wanted to choose to go on a show like that?
So I didn't choose to go on a show like that. They reached out to me.
Really?
Yeah. So they actually, I always I don't know how casting works. I don't get into that. But Love Is Blind actually reached out to my best friend who had a girlfriend, and he had a girlfriend all over this page. And they were like, hey, we think it would be really good for the show. And he's like, you don't see I got a girl on my page? So, but he said, I have a friend that's single, and I think he'll be good for the show. So he recommended me. He shared my profile. They DM'd me. And honestly, to me, it was like the easiest interview ever. I did one call with them. They enjoyed my personality, and I honestly felt like it was no like resistance, no Clay, like it just was consistent. Like felt like they wanted me. And I didn't really take it that serious because, from the premise of it, I didn't watch Love is Blind. So they just kind of sold me on, hey, this is a premise where like, you could find love, but you don't see the person. And, as I'm talking through them, I'm a physical guy, that's how I've dated. So I thought it was interesting to go into an experiment where I had to emotionally fall in love because that's something I'm not used to. So I kind of went to Love is Blind. My approach was, this is a different way. I want to be able to love through the emotional sense and not always kind of just be so physically driven. So I kind of came to the experiment to, teach myself to love better. I didn't think I was going to go as far as I did, and kind of like, whatever happens, but it was a cool experience.
Yeah, so you weren't really going in, I want to be married, I want this for my life. It was really an experiment for you to see, can I make a connection with someone, just taking the physical part out? And that makes sense because as you got into it deeper and deeper, it was probably getting a little scary, like, wow, this is actually going to be a marriage.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the show producers, they reminded me what was coming. Some part of me, like, I feel like I've had a lot of success after I graduated college, from college to post-grad, I've had a lot of success, so to me, it was a little bit of an ego thing that, I was a little bit immature during that time period where it's like you accomplish so much stuff and you're like, okay, the next thing is I want to get married. So to me, I probably had the wrong approach of going into it, but I thought it was the right approach. I went in it with pure intentions, but as I look at it 2 years later, like, okay, I think it was probably a little bit more ego driven, me trying to check off something. I want to be married, like that's the next thing for me. And maybe not understanding what all like entail when it comes to marriage. So I think, that's a little bit of the approach.
That really makes sense.
Yeah.
And you were just thinking, okay, this would be the next step. I'm doing well in my life. I'm doing well in all these parts. So this would be just the next thing to check off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in hindsight, I probably should have, talked to my mom before I did that, right?
There you go. But, that does check. In the end, people could say whatever they want, but at least you didn't go forward with something that you knew probably wouldn't work out.
Yeah.
It probably was scary for you to make that decision, but for the most part, I think that was pretty respectable, actually.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I get killed a lot. I think that's something that has affected my life for sure, just making that decision, even going on the show. But, God is good. I feel like everything happens for a reason. And like, I also feel like I needed some humbling as well, you know what I'm saying? Because like, I would say my life, I've always been met with love, kind of like the yes man syndrome. Like I've always felt like I validated people. I made people feel good about themselves. So like Love is Blind was the first time where it was a little bit like a disappointment, and you kind of get to see like people who love you, who got your back. So although I went through a lot, and I'm grateful for the lessons of like some of my immaturity that I brought onto the show, and I pray that those things don't keep on coming up in my life, and I'm just able to make the best decisions and control what I could control. So it happens, but I'm blessed that I'm still here. I'm smiling still. We still going at it, and it was a tough decision, but life is tough, so you got to keep moving. Yeah.
So you feel like that decision was clarity rather than just fear of being married?
I think that decision for me, it was something that I was struggling with. Like I mentioned it on the show, and I thought like, what I said was valid. Like, hey, as I was going through with it. And, as I'm trying to love her better, I felt like it was a blockage, So, even when I expressed like, hey, like, I wasn't really aware of this, but like, this is some of the things that's affecting me when it comes to relationships. That was a real big vulnerable moment because I at that point I didn't do therapy. So that was like a very therapeutic, like, wow, like I do struggle with relationships because, as a child, I haven't really seen one party, show up all the time, and then, as I'm an athlete too, so I'm around a lot of masculine men, like the men that women want. And, I have conversations and how women, and it's just like, to me, I feel like I am a good representation of, I speak to like, alpha men all the time. And it's like, they would be very honest with me about marriage and relationships. And to me, I just didn't hear anything that was just like, this is something that, being faithful was a regular thing, So, you could say I didn't have the best maybe role models in my life or, whatnot. My dad's a great role model. Relationship wise, you can't be perfect, but in my like, experience, relationships is just probably something that I didn't really see the best representation for, so, I probably brought that into a lot of my relationships in the past.
Yeah, and you had to learn the hard way and in front of millions of people.
It's a good lesson, right?
Yeah, and I really give it up to you for just staying positive and not letting people get you down. And, there is someone out there for everyone. And she was able to find someone and, it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
Did you feel like the villain?
Yeah, I did. I definitely feel like the villain. It happens, like rejection. I think like, it's an experiment, right? Where the end goal is to get married and I'm the one that's saying no. So it's like, you got to like point the finger, like that's the bad guy. Yeah. So, I don't think in the grand scheme of in life, I'm a bad guy. Like, I even feel like people who know me, they know I'm a good guy. But, for Love is Blind, probably what, the fans see me as, I'm probably a villain. And you see how AD going crazy with the content. So it's like, he's a bad guy, like, so it's all good. And
as someone that had watched it in that moment, I really did see you guys getting married. So it was a shock. Yeah. But just hearing you out, hearing what you just said, it does make total sense to me. And then, I'm even going to the other side saying, I actually commend you for not going through with something just to go through with it.
Yeah.
At least you said, I don't want to hurt this girl any further because you respected her.
So let me ask you this, do you watch Love is Blind often?
So I just started watching it for the 6th season and now I'm watching the new one.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
What do you think about the concept? Could you do it?
Honestly, physicality is a big thing for me too.
Yeah.
And I have so many boxes that I want to check. I don't know if I could.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is Love Blind? Do you think it is?
I think Love is Blind when those reveals come through and that person is hot. I've seen it on a women end where it's like maybe they're not attracted to the guy and they'll adjust. I've never seen a man adjust when they're not attracted to the girl. I've never seen it happen. I think that the physical does matter. And even for the women, like when they're not attracted to the guy, it's like he got to be like, you gotta be something you like about him that's like decently, like he can't be just butt ugly, Can
I be honest? I rewound it so many times during that reveal.
Yeah.
To see both sides. Okay, how is their facial expression looking? And that's one of my favorite parts.
Yes.
Is rewinding it back and seeing how they're walking in.
Well, that's a very terrifying moment, like for the reveal, because as you're doing it, right, like, it's a big deal. But when the doors open up, there's about 100 people watching you as you're first meeting your fiance. So it's, sometimes the fans look into it like, what, this guy, he doesn't like her. But it's like, honestly, that person just probably just nervous because there's literally 100 people on the right side taking pictures, like literally judging your relationship. I'm not sure if you watch previous season, but typically it's usually more couples that get married.
Right.
And then they're looking to see who they're going to keep. Because it's usually only 5 couples that make it. Mm-hmm. So they're dissecting everything, your body language, how you giving it up. Are you going to be TV friendly? So it's a little nerve wracking during that reveal. So I also want to say, like, a lot of times people like, I don't think he likes her. It's like, they might've just been nervous,
Whoa. So I didn't know that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
All these people are watching you as you're seeing.
It's like you going on a date with someone for the first time and like, there's a bunch of people like, like just watching like it's a sports game,
Wow.
Yeah.
I actually think I would thrive in the pods because I love to ask questions. I am a talker.
Okay.
But that would be very scary for me. But I did have another guest on recently, and we had this discussion where men can grow into women can grow into attraction with a man, but if a man doesn't have it right off the bat, they really can't grow into it. Whereas for me, if you're not, let's say, a 10, but you're doing other things that make you attractive, you could easily then become a 10 or more. Mm-hmm. But for guys, it's not really like that, it seems.
Yeah, I think for Love is Blind, that format, 5 weeks, it's not going to happen for guys. I've had situations where like there's someone that, maybe wasn't like knocked off all the boxes for me or checked off all the boxes for me. But like as I dealt with them more, like, their creativity, maybe they're adding value to me business wise. Like just the comment, I'm like, man, this person's like really, really attractive where I could see myself dating them. Whereas when I first met them, I didn't think that. So I feel like men can grow to it, but I think it takes time. Like I always say, like, this is toxic for me, but like I said, I feel like I've seen a lot of trauma in a relationship, but like sometimes even for me to fall in love, like I kind of have to go through something with you because like I've seen it, right? Like in marriage, like bad things happen, right? And if you're just on this honeymoon stage and everything's going perfect, how do you know how this person is going to be able to handle like when the turbulence hits? So it is a little probably toxic of me, like sometimes it's hard for me to fall unless we go through a little bit of conflict and I see how we handle that, And Love is Blind kind of restricts some of those conflicts that you would deal with on a regular life. And I just felt like I just struggled with like, dang, like this is 5 weeks. Like, is this enough time for me to really know her? And like, yeah, I'm having fun, but it's so much stuff. She's not working. She's dedicating time to do this experiment. A lot of people are just like, they just focusing on this. And to me, it's just like, that's not real life, And I think that I really struggled with that the last week of like, how can I just say yes to something that, I haven't seen everything, and sometimes I overthink, and I think that was a big overthinking moment, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, they do say from watching this show that those 5 weeks could really seem like a year. So you don't feel like that. You really feel like, no, this is 5 weeks. It's not enough time to know someone, even though you're living with each other. So how long do you essentially live together? 2 weeks out of it?
I would say maybe 2, maybe 3 weeks.
Okay.
I'll say 2 weeks. And I get what they're saying. Like, essentially, it's a year. I don't think it's a year. I think that's a little OD. Like, you think about it, right? You have a good date with somebody. It might be, 2 hours? Like, our longest dates in the pause were 4 hours. Like, yeah, we learning so much about someone. But I could have an amazing date with somebody and get just as much information. I think it's just the fact that we didn't have our phones and no TV, so we're only thinking about that person. But to say it's a year, like I mean, I can't say that. Like I think it's just an accelerated process within 5 weeks. Maybe like 3 months. Maybe 3 months. A year, that's a lot.
It's still not that long.
Not that long.
Yeah.
Not that long to make a life-changing decision. But I do think that if the person physically is everything you want and you're seeing how they could add value to your life, I definitely think that Love is Blind can work. I've seen it, with Amy and Johnny, firsthand, like where it just meshed whenever we were around each other. Like I remember me and AD through like a little kickback at our townhouse and just seeing like Johnny and Amy, just like their vibration, like their chemistry. You could just tell like, oh, wow, they really found their person. Yeah. And a lot of us, we were trying to figure it out. We're like, I feel like this is our person, but it's still like where it seemed like Johnny, Amy, just everything clicked,
Yeah, I love seeing them on social media still, and it's very obvious.
Yeah.
So last question before we go on to some fun topics.
Okay.
Let's say AD walked into the room. What would you say to her?
I'll just be cool. I'm pretty respectful. She has a relationship, and I liked Ali on Love is Blind UK, so it'll just be real respectful. I would definitely show her love. I would introduce myself to Ali and just keep it cool. Like it's no beef. I'm really happy for her. At the end of the day, like I know that social media try to put me and her against each other, but that's somebody that I spent a lot of time with even after we finished filming, and I root for her. I know her story. So I'm definitely proud of her and everything she's doing. So I would definitely express that and also show love to, her people as well.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, you spent a lot of time together. There is a friendship there for sure.
For sure, yeah.
I want to take a second to talk about a family I genuinely love, BLB Homes. Their slogan is Your Home Reimagined, and that's exactly what they do. They've been family owned and operated since 2008. Byron is a licensed general contractor, Kimberly is the design coordinator, and Chris is the project manager. The team truly personalizes every project and stops at nothing to make sure it is your dream home. They also run a clean, professional job site, which matters, and they're incredibly active in our community. I'd recommend them to my own family. And yes, they can even give you that big HGTV reveal. Plus, Kimberly is a realtor with Fathom Realty and can help you find that fixer-upper, and then BLB Homes can turn it into your dream home. Oh, and consultations are totally free. To learn more, just head to bobhomessc.com and let them know that Amanda sent you. We're going to play a little game.
Okay, let's do it.
It's called Oh Clay or Not.
Okay.
You like that one? So I'm going to give you scenarios that women may do on, when they're going on dates with you, and you'll let me know if that's oh Clay or not.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, send a good morning text every single day at 6:02 a.m. Oh Clay or not?
That's okay. It's consistency.
You like that?
It's all right. It's not like I won't say nah, but
Yeah. You're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Ask what your 5-year plan is before the appetizers come.
Nah. I think that's too performative. That's like a ChatGPT question that you ask them before a date. I think it should be a little more natural. Like, let's have some banter.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost getting to it too much with you're just getting around the whole dating part, which is fun of itself. You're
Yeah.
just shooting right for it.
Yeah. I think like the 5-year plan, it's like, all right, first date, understand what the heck you doing for a living. Like, where do you live in? Do we have chemistry? And then it's like when you like, all right, is this a person for me? You're mapping out. Like, it might be like, that might be a date 2 question though. That might
Yeah,
be.
day 2. Yeah,
Maybe date 3, if
but
you make
not
it there.
before the appetizers come.
Yeah.
That's a little too much.
That's a little too much, yeah.
Super affectionate in public.
Depends. Oh Clay to the right girl. Oh Clay to the right girl.
Okay, she wants marriage within a year.
Nah. Don't want to rush to that.
How about if she checks your phone? Oh Clay or not?
I say nah, but like not on the sense of like I'm hiding anything. I think that, like going in, that's just like, to me, is like a little bit of betrayal of like, I don't trust you. I think trust should be, in the forefront of the relationship. Now, if that trust was broken and maybe like we're trying to gain it back, and that was maybe a stipulation, then that's something I would entertain. But like without anything happening, you just want to go on my phone, it just kind of screams insecurity to me. So
Yeah.
I think I'll be okay on that.
Big time. I've never checked someone's phone.
Yeah.
Even when I was in relationships for years, I never did that.
Me too.
But I guess trust wasn't the issue.
Yeah.
So I guess if I was worried about trust, but honestly, I would just confront them.
Yeah,
I would
same.
say, hey, you would do that
Feeling
too.
some way, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I just feel like whatever you look on, you're gonna find what you're looking for in some aspect. And I don't know. Like, I like being delusional sometimes. Yeah.
That's a good point, because you want to look for something, you will find it, and
You will find
you
it.
could start thinking, oh, why are you liking this person? And it means nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Okay, what about if she DM'd your boy in the past?
Oof. Nah. I actually, that's a thing that people deal with in real life, right?
Especially these days.
Exactly, with social media, like someone having a past and like, that coming up. I'm gonna put some parameters. I would say nah from the premise of just this conversation. Like, ideally, I would want to find somebody that I have my own love with, that never talked to my homeboys. Now, if my homeboy never talked to her, and like this is a person that it just like it means a lot. I could see, like, man, this person's elevated me. It's hard to deny love, but I would say I wouldn't want that to be my scenario.
Right, you don't want to deny them love.
But I want to deny love,
Yeah, but like, are you just going after my whole crew?
Yeah, like,
what's going on?
What's going on? Like,
Yeah.
like, I hope like you did this before you knew who I was, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, am I the ugly friend that you just went down the next? Like, like.
Not the ugly friend. Okay, last one. What about if she is a fan?
That's okay. That's
okay?
okay. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind that. I don't think I have like people who are fans, like where it's like obsessive. Like, I just feel like I had people like, oh, I liked you on the show,
Really? So you haven't had crazy obsessive DMs or anything like that?
I had more crazy obsessiveness before the Love is Blind.
Really?
Yes. There was women that try to come out and like when the show was out, like, I dated Clay. Like, no, I hooked up with you once and
Really?
you don't really know me.
Oof.
But so I don't really feel like I have too much obsessiveness or like fandom that's too crazy. Like, I feel like people, when they talk to me, they kind of see my energy. Like, I'm not like a clingy type of guy. Like, so if you're doing a bunch of like constantly hitting me up, if it's not like value, like I don't really got that much time for it. We could hop on the phone. So I don't know. I don't really deal with like craziness on an everyday basis. I feel like it's been a lot crazier before the show.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in Charlotte, when you go out, do you feel like everyone knows you just from, doing your thing in Charlotte, or does that not happen there?
Yeah, I mean, I stay pretty close to what I do. So I have a water rental business in Charlotte.
I saw that. What is it called?
WaveSandy Water Rentals. It's a play off my last name, Gravesande. So WaveSandy.
So now it makes sense because I know how to pronounce your name right.
Exactly.
Oh.
So yeah, so I'm always at the lake. I'm at Lake Wiley, Lake Norman, and there's different clientele out there. So I don't like. Mm-hmm. People definitely know me from the show, but like it's like a community on the lake where there's, they just say, hey, Clay, like, I'll talk to some people about the show, but, they see me often. So it's like a community. I would say, though, New York, Atlanta, Houston, when I'm outside of Charlotte, it's a lot. Like Atlanta, every time I go out, I'm very noticed. And I would say it's been different too, right? Like in black spaces, they notice me off rip. Whereas I could be in white spaces, like at a brewery, and I'm like a regular, I blend in. No one knows who I am. So it kind of changes up, Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for answering those. Mm-hmm. So we're going to just get back into our heart-to-heart segment and just get into more dating questions. Okay. So after the show wrapped, did you date or did you just want to be single for some time?
I dated for sure. Like dating, I definitely dated. I got a girlfriend right now, actually. So yeah.
Congratulations.
So I appreciate it. Yep.
So how long has that been going on for?
It's been pretty recent, I would say. But it's been going really well. She's definitely been helping me kind of stay stable and, humble myself and, being more thankful for things. I feel like as humans and even for myself, I'm always kind of thinking about what's next, and I'm like, I struggle with just like pausing and just being grateful for where I'm at. So I think she does a good job of like balancing me and making sure that I appreciate, the small things. So I could, because I always say like, if you're not thankful for the stuff you're dealing with now, like how can God bless you with more, So I think she like does a good job of like instilling that message, and it's definitely helpful.
Wow, that's beautiful. Mm-hmm. So where did you guys meet?
So we met in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta a lot. So we met at this rooftop bar, and I saw her. I thought she was beautiful, and I just saw her, had a conversation with her, old school talking. Like,
so you approached her? I
approached her, had a good conversation, went on a date. The date lasted like 2 hours. Thought we had good banter, so it was good.
Where was your first date?
This place called Yepa in Atlanta. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what's different about her than some other girls you've dated?
It's early, so like, but, right now, like I said, it's just like the peace that is bringing me. I think I'm definitely a little bit more mature, so I'm kind of going into a relationship, with a different mindset. She's a beautiful girl. And like I said, she just keeps me grounded. And I think, especially for me, I deal with a lot of stress. So it's always good to have like that balance. And, I feel as though like I add to her life as well. We bounce ideas off each other. So it's been a good partnership so far.
That's wonderful. I'm so happy for you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yep. What is your love language?
Definitely still physical touch. I think, what's the other one? Acts of service.
Okay.
I think like if you're able to like know what I'm trying to do and you're able to help assist, or like, I have a boat business. Like, hey, I'm not able to get to these clients. Can you help out? Like, think that's, always cool. That's you setting time out to help me out on things I'm doing. I think that's like a really good act of love. So yeah, acts of service and physical touch. And not really a words of affirmation guy.
You don't need that.
No.
That's good. What kind of red flags do you avoid?
Red flags do I avoid? That's a good question.
Where if you see that or hear that, you're like, nah, I'm not getting anywhere near that.
I would say insecurity is something I try to stay away from. I just feel like insecurity bleeds in other aspects of communication and projection. So I try to stay away from insecurity as much as possible. I try to talk to people who have a like open mind. So if you're a little closed-minded, I think that's a red flag. because we haven't experienced everything in life. And, I think that as humans, like, experiencing new things is awesome. So having an open mind is like helps relationships. We don't want to boring relationships. We want to be doing fun things and like changing it up and having great conversations. Like maybe you have a aspect about your life that I never, I'm not, familiar with. I would love to learn more about it. So I think being closed-minded is definitely a red flag.
You like to go deep. You like to talk about things. That's really cool.
I just feel like it's cool just to hear how someone's been living their life before I like even met you, and like, how some things, why do you think this way? Like what was the cause and effect? I think those are like some good things. You always get perception in that. So I think being open-minded is cool.
Where do you usually meet women? I know you're in a relationship now, but do guys think, all right, I want to go here to meet women? Is that a thing?
It used to be, club, bars and stuff like that. I feel like for me nowadays, like especially after the show, social media was a big place where I met a lot of women. I would say, I definitely had women shoot their shot with me for social media. So I think social media was always like my dating app.
Yeah.
It's like my Hinge, IG.
Is.
Yeah. So, but I'm off the market now.
Yeah, look at that. Well, sorry, ladies. She's going to like this.
Yeah. She said, make sure you said good things about me on the pod. I'm
really?
Like, all right, I got you.
Well, it sounds like you have a wonderful friendship already. Yeah. And that is really the basis. And the whole part of dating is getting to know someone. And I think that's really fun, right? Just like you said, getting to know about someone else's life before you met them and why they act a certain way.
For sure.
Yeah. So what's next for you? Would you ever go on another reality show?
Yeah, I would. I just wouldn't do a dating show. Okay. I would do like something like Survivor, something athletic.
You do Survivor?
Yeah, like I'll do like.
Win?
I don't think I will win, but it'll be cool. I think I wouldn't go into the concept like I'm going to win. I would just be like, I'm going to give my best, but I'm going to try to win because I'm competitive. So yeah. Like I would love to win, but I also like got to be real with myself. Like I'm not like I haven't survived outdoors for 30 days and like made it work, but I think it would be cool to try, like yeah. I'll be open to it, and I'm competitive. I feel like I would add some value to the team. I'm strong, I'm fast, I'm strategic. So I think I could be a good candidate for something like that. Like American Ninja, what I mean?
I can see that.
Yeah, something athletic, what I mean? Maybe like American Race or something like that. I think, yeah, something where I'm able to use my brain or athletics. I think I'll be open to something like that.
Have you seen Traders?
Yeah, I've seen Traders. I think Traders is cool too. I could be a little deceiving,
Would you want to be the trader?
I think I could do a good job being a trader.
I think you would too.
Yeah.
That's why I think you should be a faithful, if anything, because everyone would be like, he's probably gonna be the trader.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Sure. Oh, I got that much of a bad rap. They're gonna think I'm the trader.
No, well, it's called Traders, so I feel like everyone wants to be the trader.
Rob is doing an amazing job,
isn't he?
Killing it.
So you at least expect it.
Yeah.
Because he has this really, he doesn't talk too much.
Yeah.
I don't know how you put it, but.
Some mysterious, like enigma demeanor. Yeah.
And I think he's doing great. He got all the housewives out.
I know, it's crazy.
Do you binge watch any other Netflix shows?
No, not really. I'm really big into like HBO and Amazon Prime shows. Like right now I'm watching the Game of Thrones, Night of the Seven Kingdom. That's like kind of got me hooked a little bit. With a Fallout, Landman. Reality TV was something that was new for me. I never was a big reality TV guy. I made a commentary. I did like this thing called Opinions Nobody Asked For that I did on my TikTok. It had a couple of stuff that went viral. And I still watch Love is Blind. I'm watching the new season now.
You are?
Yeah, so yeah, but that's probably about it.
Is that interesting to watch Love is Blind now that you've been on it? So, because you're like, I know what's going on behind the scenes.
Oh yeah. I definitely know where production has put their, production hat on and editing things up. Like, I'm not sure if you're watching it now.
I am.
Yeah, so like Alex has a scene where like I forgot who Devante girl name is. I can't remember her name, the Spanish girl.
Right.
But like they had a scene where it looked like Alex was like checking out her while her and Devante was having a bad conversation.
Alex said, he's physically more attracted to her.
But I'm just thinking that's fornication. I was like, I thought that was editing.
Really?
I didn't see too much where it seemed like he was going out of his way to have a conversation with her. It just seemed like we're forced to have conversations with the other couples, so this is a time for us to, ask questions and like understand how their relationship is going. So that's production. Like, I think that he probably was just, you're meeting this person. He's not, he's trying to get physically attracted to her. And I'm not saying he's doing it the right way. I wouldn't go, hey, how can I get more attracted to my girl? Like, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But like, I think he's just trying to figure it out. And I think that, production probably said that he said a little things he probably shouldn't have said. They edited it up, make it seem like he's into her. But you probably won't see them interact again for the whole season.
Yeah, because now I'm actually looking forward to seeing if they get together or not.
No, I don't even. I could pretty much guarantee I don't see that happening. It's like I even remember when they had AD and Jimmy filming, and it made it seem like, oh, there's like a little love thing going on. And
I know what you mean by that, and never.
I was there the whole time. Like, whenever that scene with Jimmy and AD had, they made sure I interviewed. I was around the corner. They're like, there was never a time where I'm in the presence where like I feel like a man is going to try to like, come on, that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, so not never, like it could happen, but like I would have checked Jimmy. Like, and Jimmy's my man too.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I saw that they were trying to do that. Like, oh, AD and Jimmy, they might have a little love fling. And I was like, where was this? I didn't see none of that.
Right, and they made sure you were somewhere else.
They made sure I was somewhere else. They put like, Clay, you got to do an interview now. So I'm like around the corner, not knowing nothing.
Those interviews were usually on the spot? You didn't have to film those at other times, those confessional scenes?
Yeah, it's typically on the spot. We did do one during the end of the season, like right after the altar, where we had to go through the season and pretty much talk about stuff. I can't remember if any of those interviews made it to film, but we definitely did like a little overview interview after everything. Yeah, I'm sure they did that for like editing purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always wondering that if the situation happened already or if it didn't happen yet, because just depending on the person's tone, I'm always looking out for that.
Well, after every scene we do an interview.
Oh.
So like if there's like something that blows up, you're gonna be able. They want to capture that emotion. So you definitely do interviews after every single scene.
Oh, okay. They want that raw emotion.
They want that raw, but I think they just made us do it again just to make sure that if there was something, if we said something different, now in hindsight, maybe we're talking about maybe more depth,
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what else do you have coming up? So obviously you have your business. What month does that kick up?
It's about to kick up next month, March.
Really, already?
Yeah. So end of March is typically we start getting some rentals coming in. It's typically like March to like end of September. But a lot is changing for me. Like I'm possibly might be moving to Atlanta for a new job. So one thing with Love Is Blind, like I just want to get back to my regular life. I felt like it's cool being on TV. It was fun. But, I just like having real relationships, and I don't want to chase something that, that's just not tangible and like making people happy all the time. It just like when I did it, I just felt like it just didn't feel good to me. So I just want to always be authentic to who I am. So I'm just really looking forward to like, this new change in my life and, just kind of controlling what I could control,
It's interesting you mentioned with track and how you had to go then find a real job, right?
Yeah.
And so now it's similar coming off the show as a reality star, and now you have to go back into that business world mindset, let's say.
Yeah.
But that's where, that's what and I wish you all the best in that. I know you're going to do great.
I appreciate it. I didn't see the money in reality TV. Like,
you didn't?
I did. So the first year I made some good money. I mean, when Love Is Blind came out, I made some good money. I was working at Microsoft. Like that was financially, it was an amazing year. But like to keep up with the algorithm all the time, I just felt like that was really difficult. And like, I have so much things that's going on. Like I have my job, I have a business, I got a lot of responsibilities. So I felt like I struggled with, it could have got to a point where content was a job as well. And like, always trying to stay ahead of the algorithm. And I definitely felt like it wore me out a little bit. So, I still do content, but I just want to make sure I'm doing it from like a healthy perspective, not trying to chase anything, not trying to get a desired goal, just doing it because, I just want to post,
Yeah. People don't realize how much goes into content. I started getting into it with just the podcast, and it takes so much time, and I think it's great that you're going back to the business world and getting that salary
Yep.
and feeling like, yeah, you're getting dressed up for work every day, getting
Yeah.
into a routine again. There's something to be said for that type of routine.
Yeah, I always tell people, man, like fame is good until you get it, man, because it's like, I always had a desire of wanting to be validated by other people. So like, Love is Blind was interesting too, because it's like you get a glimpse of that, and then it kind of like, to me, I felt like I kind of had a negative backlash of it. So I had like the negative effect of fame, but also too, I also see other people who deal with fame, and like even people who have success, like even talking to Jimmy and stuff, of just like, yeah, it's just temporary, like it's hard to please a wide range of people every single day, especially when you're authentic, so I just feel like it just was a struggle for me to just show up and like try to be something that the world wanted me to be, that wasn't truly who I am. Like, I'm a man of flaws. Like one day I'm this and the next day I'm a F up,
Yeah.
like I don't want to be judged all the time about that. So I just felt like that was weighing me down. So I'm like, put my hand up and I'm like, I'm happy just to like God take control, and I just want to be regular.
Yeah, and I can tell faith has definitely helped as well, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
And WaveSandy, I saw your videos
Yeah.
before, I knew you were coming on,
Yeah.
and it looks like so much fun. You guys do karaoke?
Yep.
on it?
Yep.
So that is so much fun.
Yeah, you need to come up, or maybe I'll come to Lake Murray, bringing
Yeah.
some boats down Lake Murray. We could have a little boat day or something like that.
That would be
yeah.
epic. It
Yeah.
really looks like such a great time.
Yeah, it's a good time. We do R&B on the lake, which is like our marquee event, which that happens every single
R&B
Friday.
on the lake, so that's
Yep.
what you're calling it.
Yep, R&B on the lake. That happens every single Friday, 7 to 9. So that's been we've been doing that for it's about to be our third year doing that. So that's been our biggest like revenue generator. We do Wind Down Wednesday, like a little break in the week. And then, we just do regular pontoon rentals throughout the weekend. We got jet skis. We got, G-Wagon
jet
boat
skis
car
too.
as well. So yeah, we got a lot of fun and cool things.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Just in time. It's getting warm out
Getting
again.
warm, yeah.
Here, yeah. In a month, I could see it being,
Yeah.
ready to go.
Yeah, the weather's been pretty good. I mean, it's raining
I
today,
know,
but like,
but-
it's been bouncing back.
Oh, I'm excited. You got to
Yeah.
come to Lake Murray. I'll get a big group.
Oh yeah, that would be
Yeah.
love. Heck yeah, I'll
That
do
would
that.
be
Heck yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah, I'd love to come down to Lake Murray. Yeah, I want to actually. I've always wanted to check Lake Murray out, because when I was here, I never even went on Lake Murray.
Really?
Yeah, so I've never been on Lake Murray. So I'm actually like interested
Oh,
in like
wow.
exploring it and stuff. So yeah.
That'd be wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let everyone know where they can find you.
For sure. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. Again, this is Clay Gravesande. You can find me on Instagram at Clay_Gravesande. I know the spelling is a lot, but just type me up, Clay from Love is Blind. You'll see the spelling of my last name, Clay_Gravesande.
Wonderful. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for joining. This has been such a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for tuning in. You can listen to this podcast on any audio platform, and you can watch full episodes on YouTube. Give it a like, subscribe, give it a rating too, so others can find it as well. Thank you for watching. Love, Amanda.